Mr. Graham. 2 down and 1 to go.
Another long old slog.
We got Mr. Farka to talk about this next one.
Is it topics?
Oh, the topics.
Topics.
So many topics.
Hopefully we'll do better at the topics this time.
And hey, you know, this time it's not going to be a Sheffield United supporter talking about Timu Pukki for an hour when he was supposed to be talking about his show.
Goddamn right.
Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is the man with the plan, Mr. Samuel Graham.
Oh, I have a plan.
Oh, you have a plan?
Big time plan.
Yeah?
Yep.
What you can do with that plan?
That plan is to make you feel as ostracized.
It doesn't matter what you're going to do with the plan. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a... Oh, that's the wrong one.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Excuse me, Daniel. That is a line from The Rock, who was a wrestler about 20 years ago before you were born. Now you would know him as Dwayne Johnson, an actor that used to have a WWE career. Back then it was called the WWF, in case you didn't know. You're older than old now, fuckface.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside our nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Very easily indeed. Just go onto your internet browser of choice and email us, DUfootballshow@gmail.com, or jump on your social media platform of choice and search at DUfootballshow.
See, trying to be all witty, you were all over the place combining
not
your...
all over the place.
You were doing the internet browser choices.
I like that.
Is for your whore move that you do later, you idiot. Or as I always like to say, you can zoom your ass in, which is the case of tonight. And our good friend Daniel. Daniel, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. And who do you support, good sir?
I am a big Norwich City fan.
Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the white vans. Hold on. Sammy, would you like to talk about the topics?
Wait, more topics.
We should talk about the topics.
Hey, number one topic, don't lose 9-0.
We should have topics.
Like
Lots
our
and lots of
friends.
topics.
Yes, topics.
All the topics, you know. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled
That
spirits.
will never die.
So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Sammy, what we drinking today?
Humdinger. This is Ragged Branch's Pickerell Reserve. This is their bottle and bond weeded bourbon. This is from barrel number 1, bottle number 136. It is 100 proof. Obviously, it's bottle and bond, which means a minimum of 4 years old. This is a 5-year-old, and you will never be able to find this again. So find it if you can, my friends, and drop the about $300 that it'll cost to pick up this bottle of whiskey. The reason you'll never find it again is obviously the great man, Dave Pickerell himself, whiskey legend, whiskey royalty, is no longer with us. Except for the bottling of this whiskey, he was farm to table.
On all of it.
On everything.
Yep. He ground all the grains. He distilled all the juice. He aged it, the whole nine. Ragged Branch had held on
all
to this.
under the watchful eye of the United States government.
Yes, because it's bottle and bond. Yes, remember everybody, bottle and bond is a significant qualifier for quality in whiskey. It means it has to be a minimum of 4 years old and a minimum of 100 proof. In this instance, it is a 5-year-old, not a 4-year-old. But you know what you're getting with this. And the other big thing is, remember, Dave cut his teeth making a little weeded bourbon that no one's ever heard of before called Maker's Mark. So
yeah, exactly. But it doesn't sell at all. Don't even pay attention to him.
This is, I mean, honestly, we're drinking the last weeder he ever made.
Yeah.
That's what we are drinking tonight.
It's absolutely fucking delicious. Man.
And as we get ready to head into the new season of the DU Football Show, our 4th season, I just wanted to share a glass of something very special between the two of us.
Aw.
Cheers, my good friend.
Thanks, bro. Cheers.
Let's have a great show. Now I'm actually going to take a sip of it because I haven't yet, and I know you have.
Make sure, everyone, you drink legally and responsibly, though, as I am contractually obliged to say.
Fuck, that's good.
Yeah, it is. Good glass of whiskey.
That is good.
Very good glass of whiskey. Should retail around $225, but you're not going to find it for less than $300.
You're not going to find it.
Yeah.
It was one barrel. It was one. It's sold out at the distillery. It was one barrel. There was basically 200 bottles of it.
By the way, we don't
not
record
gonna
around
find
the nation's capital anymore. We're in Montana. Go look there.
Yeah, go look. You're
Look there, not here.
You won't find it. And end of discussion. Sorry, you're not going to find it. So, in the final installment of our Getting to Know You series, today's club has been a bit of a yo-yo team, but they are no joke in the championship as they have won 2 of the last 3 titles coming up.
Sure have.
And done it convincingly, not half-heartedly. They've worked the league both times in Norwich. So, Daniel, right off the jump, what is it that got you into Norwich City as a club?
Well, it's not much of a story, but when I was around probably 9, 10 years old, I needed a club to support, and I didn't want to choose one of those big 6 clubs. I didn't find any fun in that. So, of course, being a 9-year-old, you want to see those cool colors. So the bright yellow and green instantly drew me to that. And from there, I kind of just grew in my fanhood.
Play them in games and stuff like that and just get more and more into the club. And then you're watching everything. And the next thing you know, you're drawn in, right?
Of course. Yeah. It's been a tough journey, but back in the Premier League, so I can't complain.
That would have been that long ago would have been about the time of Darren Huckabee, wouldn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Famously of the Huckabee zone. Strikers way too good for the championship, but not good enough for the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness. How about you go ahead and just kind of break down a quick history of the club, obviously the nickname, the grounds, just things like that. Just tell us a little bit about Norwich as a whole.
So the club was founded in 1902, and it's centered in the county of Norfolk in East Anglia. So it's basically the only big county out there since it's just a bunch of farmland. It doesn't have too much as far as history goes. A few cup runs, a few cup victories here and there. But the biggest thing was they were one of the founding members of the Premier League in the 90s, and they ended up finishing 3rd. Going into the UEFA Cup for the only time in their history, ended up beating Bayern Munich, which is probably the club's biggest victory.
Very cool. Yeah. Very fucking cool. And where did the name the Canaries come from?
So the founder, or I guess he refounded the club since it was kind of liquidated in World War I, since no fans or anything. So the founder raised canaries, and that's where the name came from. Kind of bizarre, but here we are.
Excellent. Sammy, you want to go with the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. What changes happened when you went down into the championship following your last season in the Premier League? And then how did you regain promotion? Obviously, Daniel Farka stuck around, and that continuity has been a massive part of it.
But also lost some massive pieces. Lost Ben Godfrey, lost
right.
Lewis, the wing back as well, to Newcastle. There was a couple of big losses in that when they went down.
There were. I mean, you had to be very focused on the topics. Which, if you don't know, that was a very famous press conference that Daniel Farka gave in the first season back up in the Premier League, his first season in the Premier League. And with his very scary build and demeanor, and then his very high-pitched voice with the German accent, talking about the topics.
Yeah. I would like to stick to the
very
topics.
fucking funny.
Let us stick to the topics.
Yeah, just we all could not get over it. It was just none of it matched. The words, the voice, the build.
So we concentrate on the topics, on the most important things, and we were pretty good at many topics today.
Just nothing matched. It looked like somebody dubbed the video, but they didn't.
So tell us about the move back down to the championship last season.
So, I mean, obviously the biggest part was keeping Daniel Farka and just sticking with him, giving him that just free way to just go and do what he wanted. And obviously that is why we're back here. But I mean, you can't look at the Norwich success without looking at their sporting director, Stuart Weber. He is pretty much to thank for everything in the past few years and every success. He's brought in players at bare minimum prices from no-name leagues, which isn't very exciting when you like see this transfer and it's like some person from the Bundesliga 2.
It's like, who the fuck is this? Yeah,
you've never heard of him, and somehow he kicks on and does an amazing job in the championship. So I mean, obviously that's to thank. I mean, the losses have been substantial, but the thing about Stuart Weber and Daniel Farke, they use that money to find actually better replacements. So I think they found a better replacement for Ben Godfrey, who is a very attacking center back.
Right.
And the Ben Gibson from Burnley. He's done an amazing job in the championship. We'll see how he kicks on in the Premier League. But yeah, other thing is Max Aarons. They kept him, and Todd Cantwell, who did an amazing job in the Premier League last time around.
That was a big save to keep Cantwell. He was
Wasn't he a
really,
Chelsea boy, wasn't he?
No, that was Gallagher you're thinking of. That was the Chelsea boy with
They're
West
both
Brom.
pretty
Yeah.
blonde hair.
Yes,
Yeah, never mind.
You can
All right,
be
sorry.
very easily confused by pretty blonde
Listen,
men. I hear
throughout
you,
my
Sam.
life, I've been one to be known to confuse blondes that are in my realm.
Yeah, heard. But
That's
yeah,
terrible.
I mean, honestly,
Jesus
you
Christ.
think of it when Everton, which is my club, signed Godfrey. We were all like 25 million. What the fuck? I mean, he's been fantastic for us, but he also fits a mold. You're right. He's a very attacking player. And when you guys were up in the Prem and he was the starting center back regularly, you guys got exposed a lot. And I think you got exposed a lot because probably not the right guy playing in the middle for you, you know?
Yeah, he actually used to be they brought him in as a defensive midfielder through the academy. So that was assumed where he was going to play. But I think there was an injury one game and he just to fill a role and he did an amazing job. So here we are.
I mean, you almost think of that position almost being like a John Stones type player where they're a decent ball-playing center half that obviously could make the step up into the midfield if necessary, but also sometimes leaves you exposed.
Well, and also there should be something said to credit, at least to Norwich, especially sticking with Farke and sticking with the style. Like, fuck you, we're not changing who we are. We came up, we went right back down. And in a lot of instances, you've heard them say, we probably came up a season too early.
Well, I mean, that's credit to Mr. Weber, and it's sticking with the manager as well. We know we might go back down because it's a realistic business plan. That's what I wish one of my goddamn suppliers would do.
Yeah.
So just a realistic business model.
Right.
That, hey, this is sustainable. This is what's going to happen. We trust this guy, and bang, look at him. They're right back up as champions of the championship.
And a prime example to this, and then obviously Daniel will let you chime in here as well, is let's look at Burnley. Burnley was a yo-yo team for about 4 straight seasons where they went up, they went right back down. They went up, they went right back down. And then when they finally got up, they had banked enough money, they had made themselves financially secure that they were like, okay, well, now we're staying here for a while. They ended up getting into Europa at one point as well. I mean, they finished 7th for crying out loud. And why can't that system not work for you guys at Norwich?
Well, I mean, Burnley's been touted as the poster child for this sort of yo-yo club, and it's been talked around in Norwich circles for years now. Let's try and be more like Burnley, which is something I wouldn't find myself saying very often. But
nobody wants to be Burnley.
Then compare it to Palace instead, and it's a lot less distasteful.
Let's oh, what's that? Let's all dig in the dirt and eat earthworms and play the looky like game. I mean, come on, is that what it's supposed to be?
If any manager tells you don't do that, you should hit him with a wet fish.
Yes,
the
you
fuck
should.
does that mean, Sean Dyche? What does that mean? I still can't get over that quote.
Please continue, Daniel.
But you can see them. I mean, they obviously have a different playing style than Burnley. I mean, they're a lot more free flowing. They're a lot more possession based, which was their biggest downfall last go around. It left them open to all sorts of counterattacks with much better players playing against them. So I think they've built a much stronger squad this go around. The depth is lacking. Hopefully the transfer window can get around that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what this season will hold.
Well, I know we'll talk about it in the transfer part of the show, but I know that there's a pretty damn good loan move you guys have made. Yeah, like a real big loan move that you guys have made. That's going to be key. But the other big thing about your team, you're athletic as shit. Like, you can't say they don't run. Like, the last time up in the, like, there's a reason why you all beat Man City when you were up here the last, like, you're going to have a go when you play Norwich. They're going to make you fucking run.
Yeah, so when Daniel Fucker came in the first year, a bunch of players were so mad at him. They wanted to leave since they were putting them through 2-3 sessions a day, and it was an insane amount of cardio, insane amount of running. And I think a lot of players left because of that. And, you know, the ones that wanted to stay, stayed, and they built a better squad off of that. And you look at them today, they'll outrun any team in the championship. They'll push their style of play on any team in the championship. And that's how we got here.
It's why you won the championship going away. Like, it was never even a challenge.
Can I just recount a quick story?
Yes.
I think I've told on here before about, I believe it was Rangers. I might be wrong about that. But they had some Belgian coach that took them into the Highlands and then had the British SAS like run like a hostage like recovery drills, and 3 or 4 of the players, I'm sorry, the coach wasn't Belgian, 3 or 4 of the players were Belgian, that decided to just literally keep running off into the dead of the night. Like, anything is better than being fucking here. And they abandoned the school and just ran off. And so it just made me think of that when he was he was talking about, yeah, fuck all this, 3 times a day. I don't think so. I'd rather get a transfer to, Serie B than this bullshit.
I'm sorry. It could be worse. You could be playing for Leeds and Bielsa, who will just make you run like fucking crazy. And then he won't talk to you unless he's naked in the dark on the physio's table.
Or naked outside your bedroom window with binoculars.
Otherwise, he's just going to walk around in circles and talk to the ground. He's not even going to give you a reason. At least Farka looks at you and goes, hey, you're running because we want to be a physical team. We want to be an athletic team.
That is the topic of the day.
Exactly. All right, so your club has a very interesting bit of history with the chant on the Ball City, as it has a really big significance. Why don't you go ahead and fill us in on that?
So it is credited, at least, as the first football song or chant. It was written in the 1890s. I had to look that one up. And it was adopted by Norwich shortly after their founding.
Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, they say still sung at every match. It's sung at least once all the time. Yep. And it's like a Liverpool's You'll Never Walk Alone. It's sung before every single game and at random times throughout the game.
You know, a really cool kind of blending of how like the owner raised canaries, so he called them the Canaries, and football chants, like weird blend.
Right.
That's really hard to say. Is West Ham's Forever Blowing Bubbles. It just happened to be a popular song at the time. They had a youth player coming through that the owner fancied and would call him Bubbles.
And that's it.
Yeah. And so the fans started singing this We're Forever Blowing Bubbles because it was just a popular song at that time that they had a player nicknamed Bubbles by their owner. So it's just two kind of those worlds colliding. And
then Green Street Hooligans happened, where they sing that song and kill people.
Yeah. Natural progression.
For West Ham, absolutely the natural progression.
Hey, listen. Hey, the old farm derby. Don't fuck with their daughters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very simple.
You got the next question, Sam. Roll with it.
So who are some of your major rivals? There's one in particular I can think of that I'm sure you'll mention right off the bat.
Well, because it's the only 2 fucking clubs out there.
Because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
So the main rival is Ipswich Town FC, better known as the Scum in Norwich. They're wallowing away in League One right now. They're probably going to stay there for another 10 years like they did in the championship. But unfortunately, we won't get a derby with them for a while, but I think it's 10 years unbeaten in 8 games, so can't complain.
You know, there's always the magic of a cup draw. Somehow, magically, those cup draws happen. You know, except for, again, if you're West Ham and there's the opportunity to play Millwall if you win and you lose to Wimbledon 4-0.
Yep, fair enough.
What always happens. Yeah, I know that the year you first got the promotion 2 seasons ago, isn't that when Ipswich finished last place, right, and went down to League One?
Yes, they got absolutely destroyed.
That has to be like as far as a rival goes, you're like, fuck yeah, we're going up and you're going down. You know, this shit rocks.
You know, it sucks. I mean, it's one season of euphoria, right? But in a season where ultimately there's a lot of people that are coming up and losing their main rival, right? Even we just talked to the Brentford woman, and Miss Jane, and Fulham's going straight back down, right?
Right.
And that's their main rival.
Right.
So it's almost like I want to see Tottenham fail, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm an Arsenal supporter. I want to see Tottenham do shite. But I only want to see them do shite to a point. It's like it's Batman and Robin. I
want to
need
beat them every year.
Yeah. I need you. I want to see you fucking, cry when we win 3-0 on your ground and lift the league.
I don't want Liverpool to go down. I want to beat them at Anfield like I did this year.
It was actually a 1-1 draw when we lifted the league at White Hart Lane the second time. But my point is, it's like, yes, it's awesome to watch you be shit and us do great, but at the same time, I'd love to have that derby that season. You know what I mean? I missed that derby.
I mean, we've talked about this before, is the fact that Sunderland has dropped so far and the not being able to have the Tyne Ware derby, and that's a fun fucking derby.
I mean, for a neutral, that's one of the best out there.
That is a great derby to watch because they fucking hate each other.
It's
Jesus.
awesome. It's fucking awesome.
They really, really hate each other. I mean, hell, they hate each other so much, Newcastle just has adopted hating Everton because the fucking Sunderland keeper, Jordan Pickford, is our keeper. So they just decided, that's it. We hate Everton.
That's our derby now. Yeah, because we need something to make us excited.
Yep.
Because Steve Bruce and his fucking sausage rolls doesn't do it.
No, it doesn't.
My point is that while it is great to watch your rival fail, it does kind of suck that you're not going to have a regular battle with them. You know what I mean? It's Batman wouldn't be who he is without the Joker.
Right.
I think I said Robin earlier and fucked that up. Thank you for not calling me out. I did say Joker.
Yeah, you did. You're fine. You're all right. Don't worry. I see all I know, all dumbass. If you fuck up, I'll be the first to let you know. Who else besides Ipswich? Are there any other major rivals around you?
Really, no. I mean, everyone else. I mean, there's a few other somewhat large clubs in Norfolk and Suffolk, which is in Eastern Anglia, but they're all League One, League Two, non-league. So really no one else.
Have you found anybody that between the Championship and the Premier League that has just kind of gotten your goat? You're just like, oh, they could fuck right.
Yeah, actually, funny you should say that. It is that fucking goat named Boris. Down the fucking road, second farm to the left. It's an actual goat.
Yeah.
I have to say, I really hate Millwall. Their fans are just.
They
so
hate everybody
annoying.
else too, so fair play.
There's a line of people that hate Millwall. It's funny. There was the attempted stabbing the knife fight of the terrorist in England, and of course there's the one story of the guy who said fuck you on Millwall and like just went at him bare knuckles and took the knife away from him. And in that moment we're all like, yeah, fuck you on Millwall. And then you start to listen to him and you're like, oh, they're a bunch of racist cunts.
Oh yeah,
like
immediately
fuck
after
you,
that,
Millwall.
yeah.
We really hate you.
Right.
We liked you for about that long.
Yeah,
that long.
They thwarted a fucking terrorist attack in a restaurant on Tower Bridge or London Bridge, and then 3 weeks later they're abusing one of their own black players. Yeah. It's like, what are you doing?
They're the first team. The minute that they got back into the stands, that the teams all took their knee, that they were the first fans to boo. You're like, you go right back to us hating you again. Like, you have this endearing moment we can all remember forever. Fuck you on Millwall. No.
You know what?
Yeah, you know what? No. Fuck you on Millwall? Yes.
Hey.
Fuck you.
No.
Fuck you.
You know what? Millwall is the guy in the plaid shirt.
Oh, yeah.
From that video from Sunday. It's just any cunt that walks out the thing, he's headbutting or punching in the face. So it's like good-natured fans, neutrals that want to embrace you. Nah, fuck you. Wham. And it just levels you.
Daniel, I'm not sure if you saw the video, but there was video taken from the past the Euro Championship in Wembley of the people that were breaking in to the into the stadium, and they're pushing over the wall, and there's, like Sam said, this one dude in a plaid shirt just standing there just waiting to hit someone. Just like people will run by him, and he just punches one.
It connected with at least three of them, yeah.
And then like hits one and then turns and waits for the next one. Like, yeah, definitely a Millwall fan. He's just like, yeah, I'm just going to hit people. That's what I'm going to do.
The way it completely embodied the way Millwall acts as a club.
Oh, all right. So big one. And I know a few of the famous supporters, but I'd like to hear you say it. Who are a few famous supporters of Norwich?
So probably the most famous is Hugh Jackman.
Fucking Wolverine, mate.
Wolverine, motherfucker.
Other than that, they're mainly British. The Stephen Fry is a comedian.
You'll know him if you've ever seen V for Vendetta. And he's okay. So if you see V for Vendetta, you will know him immediately. He plays a news anchorman.
Sam.
And yes,
Harry Potter.
yeah. Oh, that's right. He did.
He was in Harry Potter. Also, and you'll be surprised I know this.
Big boy, big, tall, giant bloke.
You'll be surprised I know this. And
Yes.
Mel, I needed to plug this podcast to you. I'll actually mention it to you by name off air.
Okay.
But he featured greatly at the Groucho Club
Oh, very
in
cool.
London. Yeah, with Bernie Katz.
Very cool. Very
Yep.
cool. Any other people that aren't English?
Not that I can name, but I mean, they're owned by Delia Smith, which is basically the British, like Julia Childs. She's a famous chef.
Very cool.
She does that famous video where she's just plastered drunk at halftime saying, "Let's be having you," when they're losing. They end up winning that game. I'm not sure if y'all have seen that, but it's part of Norwich City legend now. So
You know what's awesome about being owned by a celebrity chef?
What's that?
You never have to worry about a 9-pound never-ending pasta bowl. Which is exactly what Mike Ashley would be doing
Yes.
for his club and has done in the past.
Daniel, when we're all done with this, we'll have to make sure you come to the the Drunkard United closed group, and you need to put that video up for all of our idiots. We'll fucking eat that up with a spoon. We'll love it.
I love it.
Sam, you get the honors of asking the big final question.
The big question. What are your actual expectations for this season? And this is a loaded question, I know, because you've done Walk the Dog, you've done Around the World, you've done the TikTok thing, with the being a yo-yo club.
Oh,
you know
I
all
got
the
all the
tricks.
jokes.
Wait, I don't know if he knows what a yo-yo is. It's being now firmly entered into my middle age at 35 now. I just want to make sure. What are your actual expectations for this season?
I'm just going to say it, 19th.
Yes.
I think we'll finish right above Brentford, but I don't, unless they have a serious influx of cash, serious spending, I don't see it happening.
Take the Premier League money, sell a few assets, go back down, do it again, right?
Yep, get the parachute payments, it's gone.
Yeah.
That is the most sensible answer to that question I think I've ever heard from anyone that's ever come on this show, including some of our takes.
Yes, exactly. Definitely not sensible from you or I.
Are you studying broadcasting in college? Is that?
I mean, hold on. Here we are talking about maturity, and then the most mature thing gets said by the youngest person in the call.
No shit. God damn it. I was looking for a hot take. He was like, nah, probably go down again. It's all right.
You know what?
Well, I've learned
take a
not
few
to be
scalps.
optimistic. Since last go around, I was wildly optimistic, and it blew up in my face. So
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I still think Arsenal will make Champions League this year.
Now that's the funniest joke you've told all night. It's time to tell you what little anybody knows. It's speculation time. Old what edition, Mel?
I don't know.
What's the team we're talking about?
Oh, Notch.
There you go. Very well done. You can go back to the mute button now.
Mel has her blindfold on. She's ready to throw the big dart at the wall.
It's time to hit the old mute button and go back to the island game, producer Mel. Well done. All right.
The best part is the island game is a farm. It's not- and then for this, it fits.
Notch.
Well done. So currently, who have you? Obviously, you've lost one major player, but who have you brought in so far?
So probably the most well-known acquisition is Billy Gilmore from Chelsea. For once they've signed someone that I know, that's massive. We'll see how he kicks on. He's a little too young. We'll see. Doesn't have a lot of experience, but
he's brilliant.
There's
we really
no
need
place.
something in there.
He's gotten to play with Chelsea. He's looked good when he's gotten to play. There's just no place to play him. There's
At Chelsea, yeah.
I mean, you got fucking
Jorginho.
Conte and Jorginho. You can't play him.
absolutely.
Like, you
But
can't.
it's Scotland. If he didn't have to do the COVID isolation when they played England,
Yeah.
or I'm sorry, did he miss
Croatia?
that game, or was that the game when? No, that was the game that he played, and they said, "Sorry, you have to miss the following one."
Right.
So it was Croatia.
Yeah, he missed the Croatia match.
That game would have been massively different had Billy Gilmore been involved. And he's what, 17, 18,
Yeah.
whatever he is?
Kid,
that
18,
fucking
I
kid
think.
knows what he's doing. That's a brilliant pickup.
Yeah, huge pickup.
Brilliant pickup.
What are you being linked to so far as the club goes?
Well, I mean, newly promoted clubs get linked to all sorts of people that you wouldn't ever expect. Like, I think I saw Martin Braithwaite from Barcelona was linked with us.
Yeah, he ain't gonna
I was
get
just
a
like,
game, though,
that's not
at
happening. They don't put money for that. But serious ones, they've been linked with Philip Billing from Bournemouth, a young center midfielder. He looks promising, but
He played with
I haven't seen
Huddersfield
much of
Town
him.
as well. He's got Premier League experience. That wouldn't be a bad pickup for you guys.
No, but he's also 6'19".
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah. That's not a bad player. That'll definitely help shore up. He's just a good box to box guy. Please continue. Who else?
They've been linked pretty heavily with Christopher Ayer from Celtic, the center back. I think the bidding war has gone beyond them now, but we'll see. It's still in development. Other than that, everything happens really, really quickly. There's usually not a lot of links or rumors, and it just happens without any warning. So
He's been linked to somebody else as well. I forget what
A couple of clubs.
Yeah,
but he's
there was
not one I'm super
Newcastle.
familiar with as a player in general.
Yeah.
But if there's that much of a bidding war going for him, it's always possible, especially if those clubs are bigger than you, that they lose interest over Celtic trying to foster that bidding war mentality, and they just go sign somebody else, and then you end up with a 2-year loan deal. You know what I
right.
mean? It's entirely possible also, so I wouldn't rule that out necessarily.
I think they may have moved on already. They're looking at Fulham's Tolson Adarabioyo. I think that's his
That wouldn't
name.
be bad. That wouldn't be a bad pickup.
But we'll see what they have the money for.
What do you feel are holes in the lineup? What do you think needs to be filled?
I personally think, first and foremost, they're going to need another center mid. They lost Ollie Skip. He was on loan from Tottenham. He did amazingly for us. He
Don't
made
worry,
the
he's a
championship
cunt.
team of the
It's fine.
season. I think he's going to stay at Tottenham, unfortunately, which is terrible for us. But we have Billy Gilmore, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
Another thing is they're going to need a backup for Pookie. He's getting old. He's a lot of miles on him. The Euros, obviously, he didn't look himself since he came into that with a pretty big ankle injury. So they're going to need a competent striker.
Well, and he also faded as the season went on the last time you guys were up. He came out swinging at first. It was like, wasn't he like 9 goals by the Christmas break? And he maybe finished around 12 or 13 and just really kind of
Something
dipped
like that.
off. And yeah, you can, as a player's getting older, like good goal scorers are good goal scorers. For fuck's sake, Vardy's timeless and still keeps putting the ball in the back of the net.
And smokes.
Right. And allegedly does lots of cocaine and Red Bull and vodka and,
Allegedly.
and Skittles and
Jesus
everything.
Christ, you can't just lay out drug allegations.
That's why,
without saying-
that's why I said allegedly.
You need to
Settle down.
emphasize allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh no, hold on. Wait, I thought we were not talking about Chelsea. We're talking about Chelsea. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
But you need to have youth. Are there some younger academy players that you're excited about seeing that might start to kind of crack the lineup?
So recently a center back broke into the first team. His name is Andrew Amabama Daly. His last name is, it took me a long time to get that down.
That's a
My
lot of
new
words.
favorite player.
He's an Irish international.
Yes, even better.
He had to fill in at the end of the season, and he did an amazing job. He looks a lot like Ben Godfrey, actually. So it looks like he's going to be a very, very competent backup. Another one is Adam Ida. He is the backup striker right now, came through our academy. He debuted actually 2 years ago against, I think it was Man United. But they're putting a lot of hope in him, so we'll see how that goes.
Sam, I love it. You know, the good Irish lad. I'm a Bubba Daly. Like,
Love it.
That definitely sounds as Irish as all day.
Listen, I guarantee you his middle name is something like Fantastic. And I am all for it.
Like Rordan Shorta. Like just lots of CHs and little lines over
O's
the O's.
with the line
and-
through. Yeah, this guy's an alien.
All kinds of crazy shit. Awesome. And do you feel like you're going to be able to hold on to players like Aaron?
So there's been no speculation so far this summer, but anything can happen. I think Everton has been heavily linked with him. So is Tottenham. They've been trying to get him for, I think, 2 years now.
Yeah, we're with Everton. I think that died with Ancelotti leaving. With Rafa coming in, there's Dumfries, who played for the Netherlands in Euros. Apparently,
Denzel Dumfries.
We're real close to him. Apparently,
He's going to get a
Real close.
massive move to a mediocre team.
Yeah,
That was what every pundit said during the tournament.
and it'll be our mediocre team.
He's gonna get a $55-60 million move to a mediocre Premier
Well,
League
you
team.
know what? At least it'll be my mediocre team and not your mediocre team, Sam Graham.
Here we go.
I love being able to say that to the Arsenal fan who's
Here we
always
go.
played in Europe. He has the same mid-table problems as the rest of us now.
He doesn't have mid-table problems first.
If I had mid-table problems.
Yeah, I mean,
Second.
I'd say Daniel's probably going right now.
Second.
I'd go for some mid-table problems and be real fuck nice. I'd
We've
like
played in
that.
2 European finals. Last I've heard, you played in none.
Yeah, well,
Hashtag history.
last time I-
Hashtag Bants.
yeah. And last time I checked, we took 6 points off your
Got
ass.
it in. Hashtag Bants.
Actually, hold on. You know what? We have the younger generation with us. Mr. Graham here for the past 2 months has been trying to get over hashtag bants instead of banter. Yeah, the base is perfect. The base is saying it all. I don't care
Bants.
if this is an audio medium. The face says it all. He's just the fuck did you just say?
Thank you,
Hashtag
Graham.
bants.
You have been judged unworthy by Gen Z.
Yeah, not going to work. It's not going to play.
Doesn't mean I'm going to stop.
Fuck you. All right. Well, that's going to about wrap it up, kids. Sammy, any beautiful supporting parting words?
No. This is obviously being pre-recorded, as
Yes.
we've discussed behind the curtain, so nobody else has been a cunt since we recorded last time. So I have nobody to call out.
Mexico still-
breaking news. I don't know if Jack Grealish is still with Aston Villa.
I was going to say, and Mexico had a game, so maybe their
some
fans
shit probably happened.
Maybe their fans said some homophobic shit again, like they did the last time.
Haven't
So-
read it, but probably the case.
Probably happened. They've
It's
done it
safe
now.
to
The last two professional matches they've been playing in.
And
they've
even
done
if there
it.
wasn't, I'm sure they chucked shit onto the field.
Yep.
It happens.
All right, so we're just gonna be just mad at the Mexican fans because we're just gonna assume they did something kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
It's-
Why not?
Oh, I still
Probably.
gotta call it the English fans because we're gonna call it the Mexican fans. The English fans were pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, we talked about them last time, though.
Yeah. And they're
probably still being
they're
very
probably
bad.
still being really fucking bad.
That's probably true. Yeah, but no, I gave a good bit on that last week, so.
Very good. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us, brother. Please plug away. Tell people where they can, if they want to find out more about the Canaries, where there is a good social media presence, all that kind of stuff. We always want to keep sharing the love of all the clubs.
So you can find me on Twitter at Virginia Canary. There's also a fledgling American supporter group for Norwich that if you want to know more about, just contact me on Twitter.
Excellent. Very good.
Please
Well,
Google whether or not fledgling is the name for a baby canary. Because that would be fucking brilliant.
well, I could say
It's a hatchling group.
from personal experience, I know just seeing what Everton in the United States was 3 years ago to what it is now is insane. And social media presence, as long as there's enough fans that are passionate enough and want to talk about it, there's always a platform to create and grow more. So do not be discouraged. And whenever you want to chat Canaries, please give us a ring. We would love to talk to you about it.
Fledgling is the word.
Fledgling is the word for a baby canary?
Brilliant.
That was not planned.
Fledgling is the stage in a flying animal's life between hatching or birth and becoming capable of flight.
I mean, it's brilliant.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Now, I just did think of some parting words.
Oh, okay. Now you have something to say.
How brilliant producer Mel is for backing you up.
Hashtag Bants is short for banter, which is just like a normal thing that people do. And hashtag Bants should catch on. I'm sure the kids say it in a setting where banter is a normal word tossed around in their vernacular. And I just want to make sure that catches on.
That with a Z?
Yeah, absolutely. It's with a Z. I need the kids to be behind it. Hashtag Bants.
Yeah, he's
That's a little too millennial.
Oh, damn!
Wow, Daniel just pegged you right there.
Cut deep.
I know
Exennial?
you Daniel, he wants to be an exennial, not a
I am an
millennial.
exennial.
Yeah.
Here we go with this bullshit again.
He
Gen
keeps trying to
Xers
jump
like-
in on us.
Yeah, Gen Xers like me and Sam, we just don't give a fuck. So
And
Listen,
his
I told you, I
desperate
also don't know what an
ploy to
avocado
be
is, but I can
part of
also
us.
work technology.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So it's desperate ploy. You've been called out, Graham.
yeah, not cool.
Hashtag band's not going to
Now
fucking
I know
fly.
how you feel, and I don't fucking like it. This is not fun.
Don't worry, Boomer. You'll be all right. Everything will be all right. That's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Next up is injury time, which is going to be the Whiskey Show, boys and girls. This upcoming Sunday, there's going to be about a couple dozen of us here partaking in all of the top 20, 19 of the 20.
One of them doesn't exist.
Right, we don't pay attention to Bullet. That they can go fuck themselves. And then
Just love your kids, man.
yeah,
That's all you got to do.
Be a good father.
Easy. You want me to buy it? Just be a good dad.
Yeah, how about you be a good dad? If you're a
it.
good dad, maybe we'd like you.
That's all you got to do.
And
hard.
if we go through all of those, then there's all of the 2019 whiskeys to enjoy as well. So if one wanted to find injury time, Sam, that drunken debacle idiocy that it is going to be, how would one find it?
Very simple, actually. Just open up your internet browser of choice, since we don't want to discriminate against those.
See, that's
and
what
you
did
go
it
to
earlier.
www.patreon.com/DUfootballshow and subscribe to one of the top two tiers, either the $5 tier or the $9 tier. Why, Mel?
Because $10 is way too much.
Goddamn right it is. So just sign
Russ.
up to one of those top two tiers, and you will find both sound check, which is us getting ready for the show. Sometimes boring, sometimes not. Sometimes just read the fucking description, Brody. And also injury time, where we preview the upcoming week, talk about the side beers we've had during the main show, and then get up to all other sorts such as Hibbs and some of the other fun stuff.
And
FK
Accrington
Sluts.
Stanley.
FK Sluts sometimes. Accrington Stanley is going to be the new adopted lower league team. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So check that out at www.patreon.com/DUfootballshow.
Excellent. We're going to take a week off, and when we come back, kids, it is the 20 clubs, 20 supporters super show.
It's the rapid fire, bang, bang, bang.
rapid fire of 4 fucking hours.
It's essentially the movie Tombstone.
Yeah,
Now that I've seen it, I can reference it.
Daniel, you already signed on for this shit. I feel really sorry for you, my friend, because you're right in the middle. So you're going to be like, you'll be at the part where we're like, hurry up and fucking talk. Like, be quick. Everybody else is taking 10 minutes when we told them to take 5. Be fast. So I apologize in advance, but it's going to be a delightful shit show of 20 idiots that really don't know what they're talking about. All right. That says it perfectly. Till next week, till 2 weeks from now, kids.
Peace.
Vance.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right, the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!